Good evening, and welcome to Sports Line Radio. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'm coming at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, the sports gaming capital of the United States of America. And you are listening to this program right here on 910 AM WBR. CBS Sports Radio Baton Rouge. You can also listen live at PelicanSportsTV.com, PelicanSportsTV.com, or you can download the WBR 910 AM app. Put it on your smartphone, your iPhone, your Android, your tablet. That way you can listen to Sports Line Radio no matter where you're at. So glad to be here, glad to have you there. As another week here, picking football games against the spread. Not too bad last week, man. We had our chances, I can tell you. Went 3-2. 3-2 with a heartbreak hotel loss on the New York Jets. The Jets. The Carolina Panthers kicked a stinking field goal with 21 seconds left. 21 seconds left. You talk about heartbreak hotel, Cap, but that's how it goes. That's how it goes in the business, man. It was, boy, that 4-1 would have looked a lot better than the 3-2. But the bottom line is heading into this week, we're 43 wins, 28 losses, and 1 tie. So 15 games over 500, 43 wins, 28 losses, 1 push. You bet $100 a game, you're up $1,220 on the season. If you'd have bet $100 on every football game that I've given out on this program here in 2017, you would be up $1,220. You'd be up $1,220, and instead, most people are down thousands. And, hey, look, you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. It's as simple as that. And we're going to get to 20 games over 500. I can tell you that right now. I don't know if it's going to be this week, next week, over the following week. There's still a lot of money to be made here. I mean, we're 15 games over 500, but I'm not happy with that. I mean, the goal is to go 20 games over 500. I mean, obviously, that's the goal when you start the season on the radio. You want to go about 20 games over 500. That pretty much eliminates everything, any question whether we made any money or this or that with the juice and all that. You pick 20 more winners than you do losers. You're doing pretty good. So we still got a long way to go here. Obviously, we got all the college football bowl games. We got all the college football games this week. And then, of course, we still got 5 more weeks of the NFL. And we got the playoffs and all of that stuff. So, I mean, we got a long way to go here. So the last thing we want to do is to get overconfident by being 15 games over 500. But, but we got to realize, man, we got a long way to go. This game is far from over. And a couple of missteps, a couple of bad picks, and next thing you know, with the juice, we could be losing. So I'm going to be real careful here the next couple of weeks. We're not going to go into prevent defense mode, anything like that. I'm still going to have at least 4 picks for the show today, and I like all 4 of them. I might have a 5th. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to have a 5th pick or not, but I know I'm going to have at least 4. Because it's all about making money. I mean, it's all about turning a profit. That's what we're trying to do. And let's see if we can't do it again this week. All right, now, of course, before we get the show started, just a quick reminder to everybody that the following information is to be used as news material only and is not intended to violate any state, federal, or local laws. All right, let's start with the college football. And obviously, we got 4 games of huge interest on Saturday. We got 2 play-in games where the winner of the game is going to the Final Four. The winner of the Miami of Florida Hurricanes, Clemson Tigers matchup, they're getting in. The winner of the Auburn Tigers, Georgia Bulldogs matchup, they're getting in. Then you got Wisconsin, the Badgers, playing Ohio State, the Buckeyes. If the Wisconsin Badgers win, they're in. The Ohio State Buckeyes win, I don't know. Then you got the Oklahoma Sooners. If they win against TCU, they're in. And if they lose, I don't know. I mean, it's real easy. I mean, once again, the first 2 spots already taken care of. The Auburn, Georgia spot and the Miami of Florida, Clemson spot. If Wisconsin beats Ohio State, they're in. If Oklahoma beats TCU, they're in. That's your Final Four. If Ohio State beats Wisconsin and Oklahoma beats TCU, Oklahoma's in with the winner of the other 2 games. Then do you take Alabama or Ohio State? The real easy way would be TCU beats Oklahoma, Ohio State beats Wisconsin. Then you wouldn't have to pick between Alabama and Ohio State. You just put them both in. Can you believe that? If that would have happened and then Auburn would have beat Georgia, you'd have 2 teams in the Final Four with 2 losses. I don't know about all that. 2 teams in the Final Four with 2 losses, and you got a USC team. If they win on Friday night against Stanford, they'll have 2 losses. And why should their 2 losses be any different than Ohio State's 2 losses or Auburn's 2 losses? So, really, the USC Trojans be getting kind of screwed if they won on Friday night against the Stanford Cardinal in the Pac-12 championship game. So this whole thing's messed up. It's messed up, especially if Oklahoma wins and Ohio State wins. Then you got to choose between the Buckeyes and the Crimson Tide. I mean, I personally, I'd put Alabama in over Ohio State. But then people go, well, they didn't win their conference championship. Well, they didn't get a chance to play for their conference championship with 2 losses. Normally, when you got 2 losses, you're not playing for the conference championship. So this whole thing's screwed up. The whole thing's screwed up, but that makes it good for the MeatMan, because that makes things really interesting when it comes to picking these games. The first game I'm looking at to give out here today on the program is the ACC championship game. You got the Miami of Florida Hurricanes and the Clemson Tigers. They're playing at the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. You got the defending champ Clemson Tigers. They opened a 7.5-point favorite. The total opened 48. Clemson's now a 9.5-point favorite, depending on where you do your shopping. The total 46 to 46.5. So we got a 1 to 1.5 movement. Got a 1.5 to a 2-point movement on the side. And we got a 1.5 to a 2-point movement on the total. Got a little action on this game. I love Miami of Florida. I literally love the Miami of Florida Hurricanes more than life itself. You get them plus 9.5, we're going to buy it a 0.5 point, and we're going to knock it up to 10. we're going to take the Miami of Florida Hurricanes plus 10 points, minus $1.20 on Saturday against the Clemson Tigers. Look, take Miami of Florida's last game. You just throw that out. Just throw it out. That game didn't mean anything to Miami of Florida. If Miami of Florida beats Pittsburgh last week, and then they lose this week to the Clemson Tigers, they don't get in the Final Four. That game against Pittsburgh meant absolutely nothing to the Miami of Florida Hurricanes. That game was just a dead game. It was a bad spot. You call it the sandwich game, you call it whatever you want, but it was a situation where Miami of Florida had zero to play for. Nothing. And you look at Miami of Florida, look, they beat Notre Dame 41-8. They beat Virginia Tech 28-10. They got by Georgia Tech 25-24. They beat Duke 31-6. Beat Florida State 24-20. I mean, Miami, they've gotten the job done this year. Now, Clemson, obviously, they've gotten the job done this year. They've only got one loss. That was to the Syracuse Orange, and, of course, they're the defending national champs. But, I mean, South Carolina, the Citadel, Florida State, NC State, Georgia Tech, Syracuse, Wake Forest. I mean, these teams right here, they not any good. I mean, Clemson has been playing teams all year that just ain't that good. They're not that good. I mean, look, I know Miami and Florida plays the same team, so what I'm getting at is here, there ain't nobody beat up on nobody. Yeah, Clemson beat Auburn early in the season. I agree with that. And they did beat Louisville early in the season. But the conference schedule, Boston College, Wake Forest, Syracuse, Georgia Tech, NC State, Florida State, the Citadel. I mean, Miami and Florida's been playing those same teams. They play those same teams. So to me, 10 points is too much. It's not like Clemson's at home. If the Clemson Tigers were at home, I could see them being a 10-point favorite. But it's a neutral site game. And granted, Miami and Florida, they don't travel well. The Hurricanes don't travel well. I'll be the first guy to admit that. They're certainly not going to be traveling well. And, it's not that far to North Carolina from Clemson, South Carolina. So you would obviously think there's going to be more fans of Clemson at the game. But it's still a neutral site ball game. Now, this is the thing I like right here. The last time these two teams played, which was back in 2015, the Clemson Tigers beat the Miami of Florida Hurricanes 58-0. 58-0. Nah, I like betting teams like that, especially when they catch in double digits the next time they play. Now, with the loss last week, Miami and Florida's not going to come into this game overconfident. They're not coming into this game overconfident, man, because they lost last week, and the last time they played Clemson, they got embarrassed. Probably the worst loss in school history. I'm not sure, but it's gotta be up there with one of the worst losses in the history of Hurricane football. 58-0. And man, I think Miami's going to be pumped here. I think Miami's going to be ready. I think the Hurricanes are a good team. I love that turnover chain thing. I absolutely love that. I love it. I'll be the first guy to admit, man, if I was a player for Miami or Florida, I would do anything possible to get a turnover, to get that thing made by the king of bling, the turnover chain, and have that thing put around my neck on national TV. What an honor that has got to be. But you got to get a turnover. You got to make something happen. You got to earn the turnover chain. It's something that's given to you after you've done something special. It's not a participation trophy. It's not something that everybody gets. Everybody doesn't get a turnover chain. They don't get to wear the turnover chain. The only time you get to wear the turnover chain is when you create a big play. You make a huge play in a football game. You get the ball back for your offense. I think we're going to see a lot of that on Saturday. I think Miami and Florida is going to get a couple of turnovers. I think they're going to get a couple of turnovers. I think they're going to keep this game close. Personally, I think they're going to win it outright. But I'm not going to predict them to win outright here on the program. I'm not doing that here on the show. I'm not going to predict a 9.5-point underdog to win outright. That's not what we do. What we do here is we pick games against the point spread. That's going to be our first play for the show today. I'm going to take the Miami of Florida Hurricanes plus the 9.5. I'm going to buy the 0.5 point. I'm going to knock it up to 10. That's going to be pick number 1. I'll take the Miami of Florida Hurricanes plus 10 minus $1.20. I got to pay 10 cents for the extra 0.5 point. Buying on or off of 10 is not a key number, but I can tell you in my world it's a key number. I'd much rather bet $120 to win 100, getting plus 10, than betting 110 to win 100, getting plus 9.5. Buy that 0.5 point. Make sure you get the full 10 points. Let's take the Miami of Florida Hurricanes on Saturday night in the ACC championship game against the Clemson Tigers. Plus the points. All right, don't forget, every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, Sports Line Radio with the MeatMan, Dave Scandaliato. You can hear it right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. Don't forget, we record the program. We put it up on YouTube. You can watch the rebroadcast of the show. Just do a little YouTube search, Dave Scandaliato, Sports Line Radio. Put today's date, 12/1/2017. It should pop right up. Or become friends with the MeatMan on Facebook. Real easy. Dave Scandaliato, DaveScandaliato. As soon as I got the show uploaded to YouTube, I put it right there on the Facebook page. In case you missed the show live or miss any of the picks during the course of the program or forget who the heck I'm taking, don't forget, you can watch the rebroadcast of Sports Line Radio 24/7 on YouTube or on my Facebook page, Dave Scandaliato. All right, we got to take a break. Got to take a quick commercial break. We got one play in the books. When we come back, we'll continue to talk a little college football. Don't touch that dial, Cap. You are listening to Sportsline with the MeatMan, Dave Scandaliato, coming at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're doing it all right here on 9:10 a.m. WUBR. CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. All right, Don, you got 39 more minutes. 39 more minutes, Don. Then you get to go home to your lovely family, your new car. How's the new car? It's hanging in there. You happy you got it? Jeez. Right, obviously, you got your money's worth. I could see why you didn't want to get rid of it. Right. Yeah, that's the problem with an old car. It costs $2,000 a year in repairs. All right. All right. And welcome back to Sportsline. My name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'm coming out to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, just like we do every Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, right here at 9:10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. You like betting on football? You know somebody who likes betting on football? Tell them to tune in. Hey, man, you spend that 1 hour a week getting the plays from the meat man. You call your bookie. Go pick up from him most of the time. We've had a few losing weeks. But overall, I mean, look, you can't complain. 48, 43, 28, and 1. 43 wins. 28 losses, 1 tie, 15 games over 500 with the juice. You're up 12.2 units. Every game you bet 110 to win $100, you're up $1,220. I know it's not exciting. But winning isn't exciting. It's boring. It's boring. It's more exciting when you lose because your whole life's in a turmoil. How am I going to get the money for the bookie? I got to do this and cash a check here, and then I got to go cash a check here and play wheel a checkbook and keep one check ahead of the other check till I get paid and this and that, and the other thing. Whereas when you win, it's like your life is boring. Got nothing to do. Just sit around waiting for the bookie to bring over the envelope. You're only as good as your last couple of picks, so it doesn't matter how we've done during the course of the year. We got to win this week. Tell your friends, tell your family, every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., right here at 9:10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge, we pick football games against the point spread. We're going to do all the college football bowl games. Obviously, we still got 5 more weeks of the NFL regular season, the NFL playoffs. You like betting on sports? Every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., 9:10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. And, of course, you can always give me a call on my personal iPhone that I carry around with me everywhere I go here in Las Vegas. On my own personal toll-free number that I'm literally going to have till the day I die, 1-833-MEATMAN, 1-833-MEATMAN, 1-833-MEATMAN. That's how you get in touch with the Meat Man. You got a question about an NBA game, a college basketball game, NFL football game, college football game, hockey game. It don't matter what it is, brother. You're one phone call away from talking with Dave Scandaliato. 1-833-MEATMAN, 1-833-MEATMAN. Talk directly with me, Dave Scandaliato, at 1-833-MEATMAN. All right, our second pick. It's game 311, 312. You got the Troy Trojans. They're going to go on the road to face the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Right now at Bookmaker, which is where the line originates, the Troy Trojans are a 1-point favorite. The total is 60. The line on this game opened Arkansas State minus 2 points. Now Troy's minus 1, so you got a 3-point movement on the line, turning one team from the favorite to the underdog. And you got a 2.5-point move on the total from 57.5 to 60. I like Arkansas State here. I don't understand this, to be brutally honest with everybody. Arkansas State, they're undefeated at home. The last 2 times that they played Troy at home, they beat them 45-14 and 41-34. That's 86 points the last time Arkansas State played Troy in 2 games at home. Arkansas State pounded Troy last year, November the 17th. At Troy, 35-3. Troy was a 10-point favorite in that game. Obviously, look, this is going to be a good game right here. And I just think Arkansas State is going to win the game. I like the fact that they're at home. Arkansas State does have 3 losses on the season, but they're all on the road. They're all on the road. They're 4-0 at home. They're 3-3 on the road. I mean, the Troy Trojans, they're looking for a 10-win season, but they could also do that in the bowl game. I like the fact that Arkansas State, the Red Wolves, are undefeated at home. I like the fact that the Arkansas State Red Wolves beat Troy last year 35-3. And I like the fact that the last 2 times Arkansas State played Troy, the Red Wolves put up 40-plus points in both of those games against the Trojans. This one was easy to handicap. This is one of the first games that I was able to pick when I saw the schedule come out on Sunday night with the point spreads. I immediately zoned in on this game and I said, you know what? I was willing to lay 2 points with Arkansas State. I was prepared to lay 2 points. I mean, hey, I was looking to lay points, so me getting the point, I like that. I mean, we got a 3-point swing. It's like a field goal. And believe me, these games can get close, man. Don't ever kid yourself. Don't ever think taking 2 points or getting a point, man. There's a lot of games that land on 1 and 2. Don't ever kid yourself, man. Always make sure you can get as many points as humanly possible. I like the Red Wolves in this spot. Catching the 1 point at home on Saturday against the Troy Trojans. All right, so we got 2 plays now. We're moving merrily along here. We're moving merrily along. We got Arkansas State, the Red Wolves, plus 1 point at home against the Troy Trojans, and we're going to take the Miami of Florida Hurricanes plus 10. We're going to buy the 0.5 point up from 9.5 to plus 10. We're going to lay $1.20. We're going to lay $1.20 to win 100. In the ACC championship game, that's going to be played at Bank of America Stadium. All right, so we got 2 picks. We got 2 picks Last week, I gave you a gut pick on the Michigan Wolverines plus the points against the Ohio State Buckeyes. To the grace of God, they got out to 14-0 lead and then held on for dear life, losing the game by 11 points. We were getting 12. It was just a gut feeling. It was just a gut feeling that, hey, Michigan, Ohio State, big rivalry, 12 points, home dog, what the heck? And I got it. So now we're going to go with another gut pick. Might as well, right? You only live once. Game 333, 334. The TCU Horned Frogs and the Oklahoma Sooners. Right now at Bookmaker, Oklahoma is a 7-point favorite. The total on the game is 63.5. The game opened 7, and it hasn't moved. It hasn't moved. It hasn't budged. Hasn't budged. Totals moved 2 points, up from 61.5 to 63.5. I like TCU here. I like the Horned Frogs. TCU has been getting screwed by the NCAA for years. For years, they've been getting screwed. They wouldn't put, here's TCU. They're 10-2. They're 10-2. If they beat Oklahoma on Saturday, they go to 11-2, and their only losses would be the Iowa State, the Cyclones, and Oklahoma earlier in the season, and the Sooners. But the committee would never put in a 2-loss TCU team. Like they'll put in a 2-loss Auburn team if they win the SEC championship. Or possibly Ohio State with 2 losses if they win the Big Ten championship. This game is all about respect for TCU. TCU goes out there and loses this game, and people are going to say, well, they're a good program, but, they're just not there with the elites of college football. I think TCU's got something to prove here. They've been getting screwed for a long time. And now they got a chance to screw Oklahoma, the Sooners. They got a chance to stick it in Oklahoma, and I think they're going to do it. They played earlier this year on November 11th, 2017. Oklahoma won the game 38-20. The Sooners were a 6-point favorite. The total was 63.5. So if Oklahoma was a 6-point favorite in that game at home on a neutral site, they should only be about a 3-point favorite. Maybe even 2.5. Yet the spread in this game is 7. Wow. Wow. I hate using that V word, man. You guys know it. I don't like using the V word, but here it comes. Got a little value here. Come on. It hasn't even been a month since they played. They played on November 11th, 2017 at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a 6-point favorite. Now they playing on a neutral site place 21 days later. And Oklahoma goes from being a 6-point favorite to a 7-point favorite? No, that's not how it works, man. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. It's not supposed to work like that. You can change the point spread based on injuries and stuff like that, but you cannot change the point spread based on one game. You can't do that. Because TCU has played good football since they lost that game to Oklahoma. They were playing good football before they lost that game to Oklahoma. TCU's got a good team. The spread on this thing ought to be 3, maybe 4, maybe 4.5, maybe 5. But 7, I'm getting the whole touchdown. I get the whole thing, the whole TD. I get the extra point. I get the whole ball of wax, so to speak. I like TCU here, man. I got a gut feeling that the Horned Frogs are going to come up big. And unlike past situations where they got screwed into making it into the BCS championship or the Final Four or whatever it is, I think it's the Horned Frogs' turn to put the screws in somebody else. And that somebody else is going to be the Oklahoma Sooners. I like TCU in the spot, catching a touchdown. The value play, the gut play for this weekend's college football action. I'll take the Horned Frogs in the Big 12 championship game. The first ever Big 12 championship game played at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. I'll take the TCU Horned Frogs plus the points. All right, that's 3 plays for you right there in college football. That sounds like 3 winners from the MeatMan. TCU Horned Frogs plus the 7 against the Oklahoma Sooners. The Arkansas State Red Wolves plus the 1 against the Troy Trojans. And we're going to take the Miami of Florida Hurricanes. The spread's 9.5. We're going to buy the half a point. We're going to knock it up to 10. We're going to lay $1.20. We'll take the Miami of Florida Hurricanes plus 10 points, minus $1.20 in the ACC championship game. All right. We got to take another break. You want to talk to the MeatMan? You want to talk directly with me, Dave Scandaliato, live in Las Vegas, Nevada? NBA basketball, college basketball, college football, pro football, NHL hockey. It doesn't matter what it is, brother. Give me a call. Talk directly with me. Dave Scandaliato. 1-833-MeatMan. 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 Talk directly with me. Dave Scandaliato. Live in Las Vegas, Nevada. My personal iPhone, my own personal toll-free number that I'm literally going to have till the day I die. 1-833-MeatMan. All right, don't touch that dial. Couple of NFL plays, pro football selection still to come. Got about 18 minutes left before the end of the week. Don't touch that dial, Cap. You're listening to Sports Line Radio with the MeatMan, Dave Scandaliato, right here at 9:10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. $18 more minutes, Don. Well, that's a tricky question. Tricky question, I give you a tricky answer. I used to go to the sports books and watch them, but it's too crowded. You get too many a-holes in there. They make too much noise. They cheer too much. And I can still get drink tickets and all that, but it's tough to get drink tickets for everybody else. You know, because usually you got people with you and, you know, they just, everything, they've tightened up everything. A lot of these places now actually charge you to sit down. Like if you go to the Wynn Sportsbook or Caesar's Palace, you got to pay them to sit down. Right. Like Caesar's Palace, you got to pay to sit there for the day. You go to the Wynn, you got to pay to sit there by the game. So let's say I want to watch Auburn and Georgia. I got to give them $100 for the seat, and as soon as the game's over, I got to get up. You do get unlimited food and beverage, so it all depends how you look at it. All right. And welcome back to Sportsline Radio, the final 16 minutes of Sportsline Radio, and then we're all going home for the weekend. We're all going home. Tommy Christ, and he's already home. Buddy Sanji, he's already home. Just me and Don. Me and Don. Don't forget to turn the lights out, Don. It's 6 o'clock when we leave. Just me and Don. That's it. That's it. All right, we got 3 college plays on the record already. The Miami, Florida Hurricanes plus 10, buying a half a point, minus $1.20. The Arkansas State Red Wolves plus 1. And the TCU Horned Frogs plus 7. Now we're going to turn our attention to the NFL, the National Football League. Just a quick reminder, football, basketball, hockey, horse racing, it doesn't matter what it is, Cap. You need to get in touch with the MeatMan, give me a call, talk directly with me. Dave Scandaliato, live in Las Vegas, Nevada, 1-833-MeatMan. 1-833-MEATMAN. That's my personal iPhone. I got my own personal toll-free number that I'm literally going to have till the day I die. You never have to worry about me changing my number. I use my real name. I got nothing to hide, man. Sometimes we win. Sometimes we lose. It's as simple as that. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you lose. That's why you got to bet with your head and not over it. Money management is the key to turning a profit betting sports. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I'm not going to play the game. But game 369, 370, the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. The line on the game opened New Orleans 4 and 47.5. It's now 5.5 and 48.5. I think the Saints are going to win the game. I know Carolina's been playing good lately. But, you know, the Saints have been playing good all season long. They've only lost 3 games, just like the Carolina Panthers. The Saints lost to the Los Angeles Rams. They're leading their division. They lost to the Minnesota Vikings. They're leading their division. And they lost to the New England Patriots. They're leading their division. And if they were to lose on Sunday to the Carolina Panthers would be leading their division. The Saints would have 4 losses, all to division leaders. But the Saints are going to win on Sunday. Saints are going to, some kind of way, find a way to protect home field. I mean, look, the bottom line is the Carolina Panthers, they've won 4 in a row. They won at Tampa Bay 17-3. They beat Atlanta 20-17 at home. They beat the Miami Dolphins at home 45-21. And then they won at the New York Jets 35-27. But before that 4-game winning streak, Carolina lost at Chicago 17-3. That's a bad loss, man. That's a bad loss. The Panthers losing 17-3 to the Bears. That's a bad loss. I think the Saints' competition has been a little tougher than the Panthers their last couple of games. I think the Saints just whole serve at home, man. I think the Saints win the game because they're playing at home. I'm not going to bet them. But the Saints need to win this game like a guy in the hospital needs blood. I mean, they lose this game, they go to 8-4. The Carolina Panthers go to 9-3. And then the Saints have to play the Atlanta Falcons 2 out of the next 3 weeks. This is, I tell you, Saints got to win this game. I'm not going to bet it because, like I said, Carolina, they got to win it too. It's a tough game. A lot of points. A lot of points. You got two teams, 8-3, fighting for the division lead. Spread open 4. It's up to 4.5, 5, 5.5, depending on where you do your shopping. This is a tough game. This is a tough game. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Let's take a look at this Sunday night football game between the Philadelphia Eagles going on the road to play the Seattle Seahawks. Right now at their bookmaker, Philadelphia is a 5-point favorite on the road. The total is 46.5. The game opened Philadelphia -3. The Eagles -3 over the Seattle Seahawks. The total was 48 when they opened it. A 2-point move on the side, a 1.5 down movement on the total. Now out here in Las Vegas, the Westgate, which is about 5 blocks away from where I live, they got the game 5.5. And the Stations Casino, they got the game 5.5. And what I'm going to suggest to do is take that 5.5, buy it a 0.5 point, knock it up to 6, and take the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, look, I know Philadelphia's been good. And Philadelphia's been money in the bank, man. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Philadelphia, betting on the Philadelphia Eagles has been like printing money. It's been like printing money. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Philadelphia Eagles have won 9 in a row, and they've covered the point spread 8 straight times. The Philadelphia Eagles are like a printing press, if you like money. But Seattle's a good football team. They played Philadelphia last year in Seattle, and the Seahawks beat the Eagles 26-15. It was on November 20th, 2016, so a little bit over a year ago. Seattle in that game was a 6.5 point favorite. The total was 42.5. So now it's a year later. Seattle Seahawks are still a pretty good football team at 7-4. And the point spread goes from them being a 6-point favorite, now they're a 6-point underdog. That's called an over-adjustment. But they have to make the over-adjustment because of the way the Philadelphia Eagles are playing. I mean, you can't make the spread high enough. When a team's covered 8 times in a row, and the last time they covered, they were a 14-point favorite, won the game 31-3. You can't make the point spread high enough. I mean, this game ought to be like a picket. The Philadelphia Eagles shouldn't be a 6-point favorite, 5.5-point favorite on the road in this spot. I mean, it's just too much. I mean, sometimes, look, the odds maker's job is to get equal action on both sides. And you could tell what the odds makers did here. They made it to where they put it right in teaser range with that 6-point teaser. Because you don't want to make it 3 points and then you tease it where you can get Philadelphia +3. Here, if you tease it, you're getting Philadelphia +0.5, maybe +1, maybe a picket, depending on how you go about doing the tease. And the bookmaker has to kind of, he's got to kind of be ready for that. They take a lot of teaser money in. A lot of people bet these teasers. I'm not sure why, but a lot of people, they get that sense of security by adding the extra 5, 6, 7 points to the game. I got a team, they're -6, but I can tease them down to a picket. Or I got a team, they're +6, I can tease it up to +12. They feel better, even though they get screwed with the odds, even though they get absolutely hammered with the payout. They do it anyway. So the bookies, they kind of made Philadelphia the teaser thing. It's a Sunday night game. Everybody and their mother's going to play this. The most bet-on game of the week is the Sunday night football game. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The single biggest betting game of the entire week in pro football is the Sunday night football bailout play. And this line's just way overinflated, man. It's just overinflated. I mean, they inflated it too much. The Philadelphia Eagles, as good as they are, as good a football as they're playing, there's no way they should be a 5.5 favorite on the road against a team that's as good as the Seattle Seahawks, especially the way they play at home with the 12th man. So my fourth pick for the program today, and we're only going to go with 4, because it's all about quality over quantity here, man. I mean, look, I could give you 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 picks. But would you rather go 3-1 or 6-6? I'd rather go 3-1 than 6-6. I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks. They're getting 5.5 in some spots out here in Las Vegas. I'm going to buy it 0.5 point. I'm going to knock it up to Seattle +6 -$1.20. Seattle's 7-3 their last 10 games. Their 3 losses were by 3 points to the Atlanta Falcons, 3 points to the Washington Redskins, and 6 points at Tennessee. The bottom line is the Seattle Seahawks either win the game outright or they play you really close. If Philadelphia does pull it off on the road, I think the Eagles won't win by more than a touchdown. Seattle Seahawks +6 -$1.20. I think that's definitely the way to go, and that's going to be my 4th play for the program today. My only NFL pick for this week will be the home dog on Sunday night, the Seattle Seahawks. plus the points. All right, so there you go, Cap. 4 plays for this Saturday and Sunday's pro and college football action. Early in the morning, we're going to take that TCU Horned Frogs plus a 7 against the Oklahoma Sooners in the Big 12 championship game. In just a regular college football game, we're going to take the Arkansas State Red Wolves plus 1 at home against the Troy Trojans. In the ACC championship game, we're going to buy the half a point. We're going to take Miami or Florida. We're going to knock the 9.5. We're going to knock it up to 10. We're going to lay $1.20 against the Clemson Tigers. And then on Sunday night in the NFL, my only pro football game for the week, we'll take the Seattle Seahawks plus the 5.5. We're going to buy a half a point again there. We'll knock it up to 6. We'll take the Seattle Seahawks at home on Sunday night, plus 6 minus $1.20 in a huge NFC game against the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this edition of Sportsline Radio. Ken Trahan's original prep football report coming up immediately after Sportsline Radio. As always, I want to thank my man Don back in the studio. Have a good weekend, Don. It's always good to see your beautiful face over Skype. I want to thank my man TK, Tommy Chrysant, for getting me the spot here on Pelican Sports Radio. And, of course, my man Alan, the owner of Pelican Sports TV and Pelican Sports Radio, for putting the Meat Man in the game. Don't forget, bet with your head, not over it. Money management is the key to turning a profit betting sports. As always, my name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato. I'll see you in 167 hours right here on Sportsline. All right, Don. Thank you, sir. Have a good weekend. Gotcha. All right. I will, and I will see you next week. All right. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Sportsline Radio. Don't forget, every Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Time, 9:10 a.m. WUBR, CBS Sports Radio, Baton Rouge. You can listen live at PelicanSportsTV.com, PelicanSportsTV.com, or you can download the 9:10 a.m. WUBR app right to your iPhone or your smartphone or your Android or whatever the heck it is. Yeah, you can take Sportsline Radio with you everywhere you go. Don't forget, we tape the show and we put it up on YouTube. You can watch the rebroadcast. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you never miss an episode of Sportsline Radio. And don't forget, I put it up on my Facebook page. You want to become friends with the Meat Man on Facebook? My name is Dave Scandaliato, DaveScandaliato, Dave Scandaliato. Don't forget, you need to reach the Meat Man. Give me a call, toll-free. My personal iPhone, my own personal toll-free number that I'm literally going to have till the day I die. 1-833-MEAT-MAN, 1-833-MEATMAN. Talk directly with me. Dave Scandaliato, 1-833-MEAT-MAN. You want to get in touch with me via email, dave@meatandpotatoes.com, 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 or Dave@payafteryouvin.com, DAVE@PAYAFTERYOUWIN.com, Dave@payafteryouvin.com. As always, I want to thank everybody who tuned in to either listen to the program live or watch the rebroadcast on YouTube. As always, my name is Dave, the MeatMan Scandaliato, and I'll see you in 167 hours right here on Sportsline.